solid. Um, and the biggest news, or recent news, is Nick Suriano, right? You have an NCAA champion just like all of a sudden in your lineup, which is fantastic if you're trying to be a competitive team. When did you when did you know or hear or realize or maybe he's coming? Oh, for sure he's coming. Holy crap, this makes us really good. What was
Yeah.
that like?
So, I can I well, so I think that the funny part about this is the just kind of again the way that things come full circle is like really like a pivotal part of the story. And Stevan had gone out to train at Arizona State for a few months during the COVID year
Yeah.
in 2020, and him and Nick had run into each other. They'd crossed paths because Nick also went out there to train towards the end of when Stevan was there, and they had gotten a few workouts. And I almost want to like call Stevan in for this story because he's in the other room.
Yeah, get him.
Can I
I
call
saw him walk
Stevan
by
in?
earlier.
Come on, you can help with part of this story.
There we
All
go.
right, he's our special guest.
What's up,
I'm the
Stefan? Good
special
to see you.
guest.
That's right.
Nice to see you guys.
'Cause
Likewise.
I can't. It doesn't do it any justice to tell the Suriano story without Stevan kind of being a part of it
Yeah.
because I was I was kind of in the background and Stevan was really at the forefront of really making this stuff happen. So he can kind of give you some more context about how it all played out.
So he just kind of teed
Yeah.
it up that
So,
you guys were training together in Arizona. I'll let you take it away.
oh yeah. I heard Miles kind of talking about the how that ended up working out. So yeah, I basically went out to Sunkist Kids to train for like probably 3 months from the time that we had that like COVID semester, where no one was competing, and then like the season we were starting like January.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I have like the World Cup and that one. It was like the World Championships that didn't happen. Serbia, it was in Belgrade, so was training for that. And just to kind of change it up, because Michigan had a little bit of harsher regulations and rules, and I kind of wanted to just mix it up a little bit. So Sean had actually let me. He's like, hey, we had a conversation, and he let me go out there, work with Mark Perry, work with some guy. They brought a few different guys in, work with Frank Molinaro, and so yeah, I was out there for 3 months, and one of the partners that we ended up bringing in was Suriano to train with me, and I had trained with him. It was supposed to be like for a week, but then what ended up happening was he liked it a lot and wanted to stay at the time, so he decided to stay. And basically, the last month and a half that I was there, we were training partners, which was really cool. And so we kind of developed a good relationship, and even though that I went back to Michigan and was trained there. He stayed in Arizona, and make a long story short, not really sure what had happened, but I had overheard that Nick was going to be was I'd overheard that he was like leaving Arizona State and wasn't really sure, and I was like, well, he wants to wrestle college, he wants to wrestle 25. He kind of had all wanting to be an NCAA champ again, and you know, there's he had already left Penn State. I was like, well, where would he want to go to school? He's not wasn't at Rutgers, so I was like, why would we not want to get Nick in? So I had contacted him and was like, hey man, like I heard that you weren't going to be at Arizona State anymore. Are you just back home? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I have a really cool idea. And I was like, well, listen, uh, we can win this thing as a team, but without you, we might not be able to. But with you, there's a really good chance that it's possible. And I said, I was like, why would you, this is our Team 100. This is our NCAA tournaments in Detroit. And, me and you, obviously we've competed against each other. We've wrestled. We're 1-1 against each other, but we're never going to have to wrestle again. I'm going to move up to 141, and I'm preparing. I want to prepare my body to go to 65 kilos.
Yep.
So we'll never have to compete against each other. We can only help each other out here to both be NCAA champs, to help get this as a team, get it done for 100th year. And I mean, you can go and make your statement that you wanted to, and not on it's like icing on the cake for everybody else too. So to him, he just loved that and was like, he wasn't even thinking about it though at first. He had no idea. He wasn't even like, I had never been to Michigan. I had never never would even think twice of Michigan. And just kind of giving that energy to him. And when he came out and visited and gave us the chance, I mean, he really liked our chemistry. Liked what we had, and yeah,
The rest is history.
the rest is history. Now we just gotta, now the fun stuff starts.
Yeah, that's like you're giving, like, you should be recruiting, because like the pitch you just told us that they gave to Nick is fantastic. Did you even like? Did you tell Sean, like, hey, I talked to Nick Suriano, maybe we should, or was Sean talking to him? Do you know, or?
No, I kind of gave Sean the idea to do it, because me and my dad were talking about it a little bit, and we were like, I'm just gonna call him, and because I had the idea, and then my dad and me were like, yeah, let's tell Sean and kind of get it in his head, think about it, and that's kind of how that went down. We weren't really sure, what was going to happen. We just knew, like, hey, it was a shot in the dark. Nick's sometimes he's unpredictable. Everybody knows that. So, I mean, he's a great guy. I just didn't know how he was going to respond, and that I got to know him. We were on good terms. We trained together. But it was like, yeah, it's crazy.
Did he tell you, like, hey, I'm in, or did Sean tell you, like, hey, Nick's coming, or?
No, because he's super he's low key about that stuff.
Yeah.
He wanted, you weren't. I had no idea. Like, I had messaged him about it, and I for like a few weeks or like a month, I thought like it was like there's no chance, and then like I had heard that. We heard that through like that one guy on Twitter who like knows everything in advance, that Pat Minio guy. He like said he was at Penn State, and we're like, okay, there's no way he isn't, Michigan's even in it. Well, then with getting Kevin Jackson involved, I think that had kind of like helped like rekindle that again, and kind of like they were talking on their, I think like Kevin and Sean started talking to Nick like on their own. And then after he had visited like Ohio State, apparently, I had heard that from Sean that's like, hey, Nick's going to come. I was like, for real? He actually is? I was like, okay. So,
And that was like, funny thing about it is like Stevan and I were like, man, we're not going to believe anything until we see like an announcement, or, just because like things like that can always, fall through. So.
Yeah, no,
The next thing you know, it was like the same day. It was like Sunday morning. We talked to Sean about that, and then later that night, that's when Nick made his announcement on Instagram, and so we were like, all right, we can feel like the momentum, starting to shift. Something's starting to happen here.
He posted that graphic, right, with the
the Wolverine.
Yeah.
He had the Hugh Jackman Wolverine things, X-Men.
I think he's more shredded than Hugh Jackman now.
he's a specimen for sure. So is he with you guys training?
Yeah, he's here training. He got here like, when did he get here, Myles? Like
a couple weeks,
a month ago.
A month ago now. Wow.
I'm sure he showed up in shape, right? I don't ever see Nick out of shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been all positive. Like, you can't say enough good things. So, I mean, it's been great.
I don't know if you guys know the answer, but do you know if he's wrestling on January 3rd?
I think I'd like to think that. Yeah, I would say it's a surprise, but I'd like to think that Sean and Josh and KJ and Boyer, they all want us to be ready to go at first half of second semester.
Yeah.
But that's sort of like play it by ear and see how it is with us, just to make sure we're all in the right spot to start competing, and so we'll see.
You guys are making the trip though, right? You coming down here at least, hopefully wrestling?
Yeah, we're making the trip for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And I don't.
Stevan and I will do it for sure.
Okay, you guys are wrestling?